Hi student, I am Toton Ghosh from BARDHAMAN. Today I am going to discuss the poem Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening. It is written by Robert Frost. He is an American poet. He was a poet, a farmer and a teacher. He won 2 Pulitzer Prizes for his poetry. So now let's start the poem. Before beginning the poem, I want to say something that here you will get the utmost benefit of paraphrase, word meaning, critical analysis and summary, etc. So now start the poem. Whose woods these are, I think I know. Whose woods? Woods means it is not like a forest, but smaller than a forest. So there may be a owner. So whose woods these are, I think I know. Means who is the owner of these woods? I think I know. Means the poet thinks that he may know who is the owner of the woods. So the poet knows it. So he says in this way, whose woods these are, I think I know. Means I know the owner of the woods. Next line, his house is in the village though. His house is in the village though. Means his means the owner of the woods. His woods means the owner of the woods who lives in a village. So because he is a familiar person or he is a known person to the poet, so his house is in the village, the poet knows it, and he is the owner of that woods, so he lives in a village. Next line, he will not see me stopping here, as he lives in a village, means far away from the woods, so he cannot see me stopping here. Means stopping means suppose this is a forest, and suppose there is a village, maybe there may be a village and there may be a village in this way. Suppose there is a market, so most of the villagers goes to the market to sell their products or to buy something from the market. So suppose the poet goes to the market, and next he cannot fulfill his desires. So while he was returning through this jungle, he stopped in the forest. Okay, so as the owner lives in a village, so while the poet stopped in the forest or in the woods, the owner cannot see me. Here the owner cannot see me. Next, to watch his woods fill up with snow. Means I came here to watch his woods fill up with snow, and the woods is filled up, and the woods are filled up with snow. Means he cannot see me because he lives in a village. That's why he cannot see me while I stayed here, while I stopped here. Now next prayer. My little horse must think. My little horse must think it queer. Queer means strange. So my little horse, as the poet stopped in the middle of the forest, so his little horse must think that it is a queer thing of the poet, because usually the poet does not stop in a forest. So my little horse must think it queer. It will be strange to the horse, because the poet does not stop in a forest frequently. To stop without a farmhouse near. To stop without a farmhouse near means the horse thought, or the horse is thinking that there is no farmhouse. Why does the rider, why does the owner of the horse stop in a forest? Stop in a woods. There is no farmhouse. So why does he stop in that forest or in that woods? Between the woods and the frozen lake. Between the woods and the frozen lake means the poet stopped. The poet stopped his carriage between the woods and a frozen lake. Frozen lake means a lake is filled with ice, as it was a snowy evening. So the poet stopped between the woods and the frozen lake. Next line, the darkest evening of the year. And this is the darkest evening means the poet was returning from the market, and it was a darkest evening of the year. Darkest evening, winter solstice. You can say this is winter solstice or 22nd December. And the poet was returning with some unfulfilled desires. So he stopped in the middle of the forest. He feels much dejected. He was sad. He was gloomy. So he stopped in the middle of the forest. But his little horse was thinking that it was a queer thing of the poet to stop without a farmhouse near, but in the woods and the frozen lake. Now, next stanza. He gives his harness bells a shake. He means, who is he? He means the horse. The horse gives his harness shake. Harness bell a shake. Harness means equipment of a horse. Equipments of a horse. This is called harness. Bells, and the horse is generally equipped with bells. So he gives his harness bells a shake. Means he began to shake his harness because there were some bells. So he gives his harness bells a shake to make some sound. Why does he do it? Means why does the horse do it? Because he wants to say something, that it was a queer thing of the poet. Why does he stop in the middle of the forest? And it was snowy. It was a snowy evening. To ask if there is some mistake. To ask means to say to the poet. To say to the poet if there is some mistake. Means the poet may be mistaken. So he stopped here. So he wants to remind the poet by shaking his harness bells. The only other sounds the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. The only other sounds the sweep. There is no other sound because this was a snowy evening. So the poet stopped in the middle of the forest and there was no sound. There are some sounds. Which was the sound? Means the only other sounds the sweep of easy wind. The sweep of easy wind. Sweep means the flow of easy wind. Means the poet can hear the sweeping sound of the easy wind and downy flake. And downy flake. Downy means like down. And flake means F-L-E-C-K-S. Flakes. Okay, flake means F-L-E-C-K-S. Flakes. Or small pieces of snow. Small downy flake. Downy flake means the snowfall is occurring. The snowfall is occurring. And it was like small pieces of snow. Now, this is the last stanza of the poem. The woods are lovely, dark and deep. The woods are lovely. Means the woods are beautiful. Lovely means beautiful and dark and deep and dark, and it was deep. Deep means dense. It was a dense wood. and so it was dark, so it became dark. As soon as the evening falls, the woods become dark because of deep forest, because of dense forest. But next line, but I have promises to keep. But I have promises to keep means the poet has many promises to keep. He has promises means he has many responsibilities to keep, which he has to keep. Keep means feel. Keep means feel. FILL, feel means he has many responsibilities to feel. And next line, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. And miles to go before I sleep. Here sleep you can interpret as death means, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep means, miles means years. I have many years. I have not spent much of my time. So as I am young now, so I have many years to do, to perform before my death, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. So the poem ends in this way. Now if you like my video, so subscribe my channel and don't forget to comment. Thank you.